Story 1 of 3. Ben Robert Smith charged with war crimes in Afghanistan. Ben Robert Smith charged with war crimes in Afghanistan. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Ben Robert Smith was arrested at Sydney Airport on April 7, 2026, after arriving from Brisbane on a Qantas flight, QF515, and charged with 5 counts of war crime, murder. Robert Smith is accused of killing unarmed Afghan civilians and detainees between 2009 and 2012 during his service in Afghanistan with the Australian SAS. The charges relate to 5 alleged murders, 2 at Whiskey 108, Kakorak, April 12, 2009, 1 at Darwin, September 2012, and 2 at Siachow, October 2012. Robert Smith was previously found by a federal court judge, Anthony Bisanko, in 2023 to have committed war crimes to the civil standard of balance of probabilities in a defamation case against 9 newspapers. Robert Smith was granted bail on April 17, 2026, under strict conditions including a $250,000 surety, surrendering his passport, and reporting to police 3 times a week. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC report that Robert Smith was arrested at Sydney Airport, but news.com.au suggests he was arrested in Sydney instead of Brisbane due to potential jury concerns. The Guardian and SMH state that Robert Smith was arrested on April 7, 2026, while some sources like news.com.au mention the arrest occurred on April 8, 2026, in their headlines. The Guardian and ABC describe Robert Smith's arrest as a public spectacle with media coverage, while news.com.au suggests the arrest was handled in a way that could have been less public. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, news.com.au, SBS News, Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 2 of 3. Iran reopens Strait of Hormuz amid US-Iran ceasefire and shifting oil markets. Iran reopens Strait of Hormuz amid US-Iran ceasefire and shifting oil markets. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Iran declared the Strait of Hormuz completely open for commercial vessels on April 17, 2026, for the duration of the ceasefire with Lebanon. Oil prices dropped over 10% after Iran's announcement, with Brent crude falling from around $98 to $86.52 per barrel. The Strait of Hormuz closure had removed over 500 million barrels of crude and condensate from the global market, PUCPLR data. US President Donald Trump welcomed Iran's announcement but stated the US naval blockade of Iran's ports would remain until a transaction with Iran was 100% complete. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi announced the reopening on April 17, 2026, via X, Twitter, specifying a coordinated route near Larak Island. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC report that Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi announced the Strait of Hormuz would be open for the remaining period of ceasefire, but Trump claimed Iran had agreed to never close it again, which Iranian officials denied. ABC and Guardian report that Iran's Supreme National Security Council required the leader's approval for the strait's reopening, but this detail is not mentioned in other sources. The Guardian and ABC report that Iran's IRGC fired upon ships attempting to transit the Strait of Hormuz, but Trump dismissed Iran's closure as them getting cute and claimed negotiations were working out really well. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, news.com.au, SBS News, and The Age. Story 3 of 3. Victoria extends free half-price public transport amid high fuel costs and Middle East tensions. Victoria extends free half-price public transport amid high fuel costs and Middle East tensions. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Public transport in Victoria will be free until the end of May 2026. Public transport fares will be half-price from June 1, 2026, until the end of 2026. The policy costs approximately $400 to $432 million in foregone fare revenue, The Age, $400 million, ABC, $432 million. The policy is part of Victoria's cost of living relief amid high fuel prices linked to the Middle East conflict, specifically Iran's closure of the Strait of Hormuz. The Free Public Transport Initiative began in April 2026 after fuel prices surged due to the Middle East conflict. But not all outlets told the same story. The Age reports the policy costs $400 million, while ABC reports it costs $432 million. The Age states the free transport policy began in April after fuel prices surged due to Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz, but ABC does not specify the exact trigger date for the initial free transport announcement. The Age mentions a $710 million surplus forecast for Victoria's full year, while ABC does not reference this financial detail. This story was covered by ABC News and The Age.